How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on these Tama Star maple drums. If you're a fan of Tama drums, you will definitely be a fan of these drums. They've taken their knowledge of Star classic drums and just raised the bar quite a bit with these new drums. The way they make the shells, the hardware, everything that goes into it makes one killer drum kit. So let's get into the details right now. The first thing I want to get into is these drum shells and how they're constructed. Very cool drum shells, and what makes them unique is the core of the shell. These are 5-ply thick, these shells, but the core is solid wood and it's 2 millimeters thick, and it's sandwiched on either side by 1.5 millimeters of cross-laminated wood. Now, maple, which these drums are, usually has a wide open and bright tone. That's typically what maple sounds like, and it's great for a lot of stuff. But that solid core ply on the inside of the shell gives these drums a nice warm and balanced tone. So you get the brightness and the openness of maple, but you also get a warmth and a depth because of that solid piece of wood on the inside. Very cool. The drum shells also come with 45-degree rounded bearing edges, so you get a nice, that adds to the warmth with maple, the roundness, not so sharp. So very cool, the head sits on perfectly. All right, now I'm gonna play the toms for you with the snare wires off so you can hear the tone of these drums. Very nice tone, very musical, great tone interval between each tom. These drums come outfitted with Remo coated ambassadors on the top, clear ambassador on the bottom, and they're wide open. There's no dampening or anything right now. They came up to pitch really easily, and again, they're just really musical and wide open. Let me put the snare wires back on and play a little bit of a groove with the drums like this. The drums from this side of the kit also have great volume, and it's inspiring to play when they sound this good. The sizes of the drums in this shell pack are like this. First rack tom is 8x10, second rack tom is 9x12. The two floor toms are 14x14, 16x16, and the kick drum is 18x22. Let me play you this kick drum right now with the snare wires off. Nice, big, fat, warm tone. Snare wires back on. The kick drum is also wide open. There's no dampening inside at all. As you can tell, there's no hole on the front. So if you put a hole in the front head, a little bit of dampening, definitely don't put too much dampening in there. You don't want to kill it, but a little bit will tighten it up and give you a back, nice, big, tight, fat rock sound as well. This is a 5-piece shell pack, does not come with a snare drum like most shell packs. So I've coupled this drum kit today with another great Tama drum from the Star Series. This is an ash stave drum. Staves are vertical pieces of wood that are fused together to make a round shell. If you've ever played a conga, congas are mostly stave drums, so you know what I'm describing here. Really nice drum, great crack to it, and it goes really well with the rest of the kit. Before I get into the hardware that comes on these Tama drums, I think this is a good spot in the video to let you know of everything else I have going on around me here. I have a smorgasbord of fantastic cymbals here today. For the hats, I have Meinl Byzance Dark Series 14-inch hats. I also have a Meinl Byzance 16-inch trash crash here. My first crash here is a Sabian Vanguard 16-inch crash. My ride is a Zildjian K custom organic ride, 21 inches, beautiful ride cymbal. I have an 18-inch Peisty full crash. And this beauty over here on my right side is a Wuhan 14-inch China. Love Wuhan China cymbals. Encourage you to check out all the cymbals I have on my set here. You guys like me to tell you how I mic the drums, so for today I have two AKG 414s for my overheads. In front of the kick drum is a AKG D12, and in the room I have a Royer SF12 stereo mic to give some ambience to the sound of the drum kit. Everything is going through an Antelope Zen Studio interface and into Pro Tools, and that's how you're hearing the sound of the drums. Now, let's get into the hardware. Really nice, pretty unique hardware on this kit. The first thing we're going to talk about is the mounting system. Tama calls this their super resonant mounting system, and this is how it works. There's 3 points of contact with this mounting system on your typical setup, okay? You have A and B here on the top hoop, and C, which is down here on the bottom hoop. At a regular angle, kind of like how I have my drum here, and even at flatter angles, the rubber grommets touch these 3 spots, and it lets the drum be free and resonate and open and ring for days. Very nice. There are some drummers out there in the world that like to have their toms really angled, very sharply. In that case, Tama also thought about that. It takes away this 3rd point of contact down here on the bottom hoop and puts it up here to the top hoop again. So when the drum is actually angled at that sharp angle, you'll see that it's not touching the bottom hoop anymore. And again, that makes it so when the drum is angled so sharply, it still has that same amount of resonance as if it was angled up in your more kind of normal spot. So they really put some deep thought into this suspension system to really give you the best resonance and tone of the drum possible. The memory lock system on these Tama Star drums is very cool. Get them set up however you like, your perfect angle, tighten them down with the wing nut here. And then the lever on the top piece, which is connected to the suspension system, you just pull it back one, lift up your drum, and you're good to go. That same memory lock system is also on all the floor tom legs, so wherever you place your drums, they will stay in place for as long as you want. The lugs that come on these Tama Star drums are very classy looking, nice and thin, low mass, minimal contact on the drum shell, look very pretty, nice chrome. And then on the bass drum hoop, the unique feature here, the claw hooks almost don't touch the hoop, they only touch the hoop on the rounded part in the front. As you'll notice, they kind of come up off the hoop a little bit, and again, it's just minimal contact on the drum itself to give you the best overall tone you can get. The kick drum comes with really nice spurs. They're very sturdy with lots of options on angle, and also the floor tom legs are air cushioned. There's an air gap on the inside of the rubber that just, again, adds to the resonance and the tone of the drums. And finally, the last thing I want to tell you about is the washers. Now, I don't really talk about washers very often on drums, but Tama put deep thought into every piece on this kit. The washers that are right underneath the tension rods are called hold-tight washers, and they do just that. They hold the tension rods tightly in place, so when you get your drum in tune, it's going to stay. And there you have it, everybody. These are the Tama Star maple drums. This particular kit in this gorgeous natural lacquer finish, and you also get this beautiful inlay in the center of the shell on every drum. Great drums. They sound great. They're very inspiring to play, and I definitely encourage you to check them out. If you're a fan of Tama drums, you'll be a fan of these Star drums. If you want any more information about these particular drums or any other Tama product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer, and thanks a lot for watching.